Would everybody please rise in honor of the class of 2010?
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated.
On behalf of the graduating class of 2010, I would like to welcome all of you here today. Today we say goodbye to the familiar and prepare for a world of unknowns. Today we thank all of the people who have helped make this possible and celebrate in the achievement of a goal long in the making. We are so happy that this day could be shared with all of you.
It's been 12 long years, but we can finally say the 4 words we've been waiting for. No, it's not that's what she said, but we did make it. This time in our lives has been full of moments of happiness and sorrow. We should first give thanks to some figures we've greatly appreciated. Thank you, Google and Wikipedia. Together, you both helped us through those late nights. We stayed up writing papers we knew were the next day. Mr. Roeder, you've supported every athletic event year after year, while still holding the busy role as our superintendent. Mr. Shabandi, you came here our sophomore year, and you've kept yourself calm, even with dealing with the difficulties we all provided. Mr. Ludi, none of us will ever forget your stories of Bert, Ferd, and many other timeless characters in English. Mr. Head, also known as the Silverback Gorilla, you are the strongest man alive. Thank you for not killing me with the many opportunities you had during class. Mr. Phillips, even though you only provided one speech class for us to take, there's never a boring day while being around you. You've given all students a positive look on life, and have even given us a joke or two. Mr. Byler, whether it be our AP Bio class begging you to tell us the story of when you were kicked by a kangaroo, or us making fun of your colorblindness, biology was never boring. Mr. Bach, after being staff assistant for you the last 3 years, we've shared hours of important and also random conversations. You couldn't have made high school any more fun to show up to every day. And finally, Mr. Maximchuk. You came here our sophomore year, and you haven't stopped yelling since. You've always pushed for success out of us, on and off the field. You never gave up on us, even if it meant losing your voice after every game. Regardless of the outcome, you believed in us, and you've been like a father to all of us. There aren't words that can express what you've taught me, and I'll know I've had plenty of stories to tell my kids about the coach that yelled at me all the way across the football field during a game. As we look back at what we've accomplished these last 12 years, we can't take for granted the little things. 6 years ago, we lost a classmate and a friend. Brandon Vogel may not be here physically with us today, but he'll never leave any of our thoughts. His family has been strong enough to carry on, and we should look for them whenever we feel like we're struggling and see the strength they've had the past years. At this time, I'd like to take a moment of silence for our fallen classmate and his family. We can't take for granted our own families. Most of us wouldn't have been here without their support. So thank you, Mom and Dad, for always being there. You were there every football game and track meet, with a couple of basketball games and wrestling meets thrown in. You may have been disgusted driving those many hours to Fairfield and Carroll, but you can't imagine the support and confidence that brought me. This wouldn't have been possible without having you there to depend on for guidance. I hope to be just as great as you when I have my own children to raise. To my big sister, Cassie, whether you believe it or not, I've always looked up to you. I always want to be just as good as you, and I work for that more and more every year. I owe you thanks for never leading me wrong. And finally, you, the class of 2010. These last 12 years may have been long and hard, but I'm glad I got to spend them all with you. Let us leave here with memories, good and bad, of what this experience has meant to us. Thank you. It is my pleasure, as the president of the class of 2010, to continue the traditional passing of the gavel. This gavel is passed from the current graduating class to the upcoming class from tradition of the Soaring Eagle. This gavel represents our past, present, and our future achievements. The tassel of the class of 2010 has been added in honor of this year's graduates. On behalf of the class of 2010, I proudly pass this gavel on to Dakota Bennett, president of the class of 2011.
On behalf of the class of 2011, I proudly accept this gavel and would like to wish the best of luck to the class of 2010.
The Fremont High School Band, under the direction of Miss Melissa Hardwick, will present Jai Ho, arranged by Michael Brown. I would like to take this opportunity at this time to introduce this year's honor students. Please hold your applause until all the students in each group have been recognized. First, the National Honor Society members, Sarah Aldridge, Lauren Coleman, Kayla Corchamelia, Anthony Folk, Renee France, Yvonne Hernandez, Lindsay Reidenbach, Aubrey Russell, Krista Short, Ellie Sisler, and Joseph Woolley. This year's top 10% honor students, Sarah Aldridge, Lauren Coleman, Kayla Corchamelia, Renee France, Yvonne Hernandez, Natalie Nisley, Lindsay Reidenbach, Megan Reidenauer, Aubrey Russell, Krista Short, and Joseph Woolley. This year, our academic honors diploma candidates are Sarah Aldridge, Haley Belpasso, Lauren Coleman, Eric Corchamelia, Kayla Corchamelia, Eric Jabba, Josh Feller, Anthony Folk, Renee France, Joseph Gannon, Jamie Gardner, Mason Hallman, Nicole Hasenzahl, Yvonne Hernandez, Phil Keating, Natalie Nisley, Zach Mofield, Ryan Palmerton, Bethany Quick, Lindsay Reidenbach, Megan Reidenauer, Natasha Ringler, Seth Robertson, Aubrey Russell, Caitlin Scott, Krista Short, Ellie Sisler, Celeste Sprague, Jessica Stovall, Callie Stuckey, Adam Stuckey, Nicole Trisco, Alex Van Zulen, Chantel Vensky, Kelly Wilson, and Joseph Woolley. We have two students that have earned the distinction of Technical Honors Diploma. Those two students are Kelsey Bates and Lauren Ringler. In 1994, a scholarship program was established at Fremont Community Schools, the Fremont Dollars for Scholars. For every A received, a student earns $10. For every B, a student earns $5. An academic honors diploma can earn a student an additional $100. Also, each year when a student doesn't exceed 1 day of absence, they receive $100. A student's maximum award can equal $1,140. To receive this cash scholarship, a student must enroll in a post-secondary institution to further their education or training. The major contributors to start this program were the Fremont Men's Club, Olive B. Cole Foundation, Gerald J. and Juanetta B. Siegley, John A. Snyder, and the Fremont Chamber of Commerce. This year's senior class has earned a potential of over $25,000. Would the class of 2010 please stand and be congratulated? It is now my pleasure at this time to introduce the salutatorian of the class of 2010, Renee France.
Well, it's hard to believe that we're here. It seems like just yesterday we were in 5th grade, headed to Camp Potawatomi, or 6th grade, going skiing for the first time for many. We went with no injuries and came back with a short bus full of them. Then there's 7th grade. What was the big field trip of that grade? Oh yeah, COSI. We didn't get to go. Of course, we have to thank Mrs. Hudson for being there with us through all of our hard, toilsome middle school years. And then comes freshman year. This year is hard for many, normally because of the pressures of high school. But Jacob, it's good to see you here today and healthy after a long, tiring freshman year for you and your family. With sophomore year brought us stealing the slogan Sophomore Power from the class before us, and junior year spent planning for prom and arguing about a discrepancy in the points at class struggles. And then there was senior year. For a majority of us, the ever so popular senioritis seemed to kick in before Christmas break even came along. But it was still a successful year for many. Football had the best record that Fremont has seen in a while. Girls basketball and boys baseball won the NECC tourney with the help of their senior leadership. Tony Falk qualified for a regional spot in long jump. Apart from sports, other accomplishments were made as well. 5 seniors led the way to a successful Seussical this spring. Lauren Coleman had the honor of winning the Lilly Endowment Scholarship, in which only 2 students in the county win yearly, and many students have prepared themselves adequately for their futures. Unfortunately, not everything has been so easy for our class. 6 years ago, we lost a dear friend and classmate, Brandon Vogel. It is with my most sincere remorse that Brandon cannot be with us today, and my thoughts and prayers go out to his family and friends. But the achievements of our grade were not possible without the helping hand of all of the teachers at Fremont High School. All students have a teacher they grew close with over the years. Mr. Byler, your enthusiasm in the classroom has made many wonderful students come out of your classroom, and the enthusiasm on the tennis court has sparked a love for tennis that will last for the remainder of my lifetime. Mr. Ludi, I will never forget the oh-so-intriguing stories of Ferd, Bert, and Bertha, and maybe I'll remember the lessons that go along with that. Mr. Head, your tough guy appearance may be intimidating to some, but really you're getting pretty soft, considering you didn't even give your calculus students a final this year, not to mention the wonderful brownies, thanks to Mrs. Head. Mr. Rumsey, drinking Mountain Dews and reminiscing with you is what made some students' high school days worthwhile. Mr. Bach, thank you for sharing your love for the office with us, and the lesson about she being brand new won't be forgotten either. Mr. Wyrick, your interest in student council has encouraged many students to get involved with the school, even if a few of them don't show up one of the meetings in a year. Mr. Camp, your constant bantering in the hallway has not grown old at all over the past couple of years. I'm sure we're all going to miss that when we go to college. And all of the other teachers that I didn't mention, you have impacted a student's life in one way or another, and for that you all deserve more thanks than you are told. Lastly, I'd like to thank all of the parents. I know that if it weren't for my parents, I would not be standing here today. I have not thanked you enough for all of your love and support over the past 18 years of my life, and I'm sure that goes the same for every other parent here today. As our class motto says, nobody can go back and start a new beginning, but anyone can start today and make a new beginning. So as we part, I have one piece of advice for you. As we sing at many of the basketball games, don't stop believing. Thank you.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the valedictorian of the class of 2010, Sarah Aldridge.
Anyone who knows me will not be surprised to know that I've been stressing over this speech since I found out I was valedictorian. I had no idea where I was supposed to go with this or what I was intended to say. I don't have any words of wisdom, inspirational stories, advice, or any extra knowledge about how to handle the coming future than any of my peers. But I realized what I do have is confidence in the class of 2010. It has taken countless hours of dedication to get us where we are today. Graduating from high school is a major accomplishment. We have worked diligently throughout our school careers, passing our classes and preparing for the future. We are achieving great things and are walking out of here with our entire lives before us. Right now, we have the greatest number of possibilities for ourselves we will ever have. Right now, we have the ability to choose who we want to be for the rest of our lives. The paths are endless. All we need to decide is who we want to become and pursue that journey with all our hearts. If we only focus on what we want to be, we will forget who we are. Although, if we decide the kind of person we want to be, everything else will fall into place. We will not be remembered for what we did, but for who we were. We are already on our way to becoming great people and members of society, but we cannot claim this achievement as all our own. We have grown up in a great community full of caring people dedicated to our success. Our parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins, and friends have helped us become who we are today. I would like to thank my friends for always being there to cheer me up and boost my confidence whenever life got the best of me. My aunts, uncles, and cousins for being my biggest fans. My Italian grandparents for all their loving care through their wonderful homemade cooking that never fails to make me feel like the luckiest girl around. My best friend, Nana Jude, for her unwavering interest in my life that follows me wherever I go. My best friend and sister Anna for possessing the same sense of humor as me. And finally, my mom and dad for all their sacrifices in order to raise me in the best home any girl could ask for. They do everything for me, and I truly appreciate it. Along with the support of our families, we have been taught by some of the greatest teachers and administrators in the country. We owe them all the knowledge we possess today. Although we have had unlimited help and support throughout these past 12 years, we earned our diplomas. Class of 2010, we have done an extraordinary job, and I know we will succeed in anything we set our minds to. Let's make sure we give the world our best and prove that we will make a difference. I challenge you to stop at nothing to become who you want to be and show the world who you are and what you can do. A wise Dr. Seuss once said, "Congratulations, today is your day. You're off to great places, you're off and away. You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself in any direction you choose. You're on your own, and you know what you know, and you are the guy who will decide where to go." Class of 2010, we will decide where we want to go, and we will get there. We're off to great places, we're off and away. Thank you.
The Fremont High School Choir, under the direction of Miss Betsy Fowler, will now sing Bridge Over Troubled Water, arranged by Kirby Shaw.
For take your part. Oh, when darkness comes and pain is all around, like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down like a bridge over troubled water. I will lay me down. I'll be your bridge on troubled water. When you're down, I will carry you like a bridge on troubled water. I will lay me down. Sail on, silver sail, sail on high. Your time has come to shine. All your dreams are on the way. See how they shine. If you ever need a friend, look around, I'm sailing right behind, like a bridge over troubled water. I will lead your life like a bridge over troubled water. I will lead your life. I'll be your bridge on troubled water. When you're down, I will carry you like a bridge on troubled water. I will
On behalf of the class of 2010, we have chosen the song No Such Thing by John Mayer because of some of the lyrics. In the song, John Mayer says, "There is no such thing as the real world. To us, graduating high school is a new step in our lives. Our real world is now changing into a new world. I wish you all the best of luck in your new worlds, and congratulations, class of 2010."
Welcome to the real world, she said to me condescendingly. Take a seat, take your life, plot it out in black and white. Well, I never lived the dream of the prom kings and the drama queens. I'd like to think the best of me is still hiding up my sleeve. And love to tell you, stay inside the lines. But something's better on I just found out there's no such thing as the real world, just a lie you got to rise above. So the good boys and girls take the so-called right track, faded white hat grabbing credits, maybe transfers. They read all the books but they can't find the answers. All of our parents, they're getting older. I wonder if they've wished for anything better, while in their memories, tiny tragedies. They love to tell you, stay inside the lines. Something's better on the other side. I wanna run through the halls of my high school. I wanna scream at the top of my lungs. I just found out there's no such thing as the real world, just a lie you got to rise above. I am invincible. I am invincible. I am invincible as long as I'm alive. I wanna run through the halls of my high school. I wanna scream at the top of my lungs. I just found out there's no such thing as the real world, just a lie you got to rise above. I just can't wait for my 10-year reunion. I'm gonna bust down the double doors, and when I stand on these tables before you, you will know what all this time was for.
By the authority vested in me by the Indiana Department of Education, I do here and now certify to the Superintendent of Schools that the class of 2010 herein assembled has met and successfully completed the required courses of study to receive a diploma or certificate of completion. I do at this time present the class of 2010 to Mr. Ben Roeder, Superintendent of Fremont Community Schools. It is my pleasure to introduce Kayla Corchamilia, Vice President of the class of 2010, to read the roll call for her class.
Ready? Joseph John Woolley. Kyle E. Workman. Jenna Witzman. Jared C. Watson. Jerry Lee Whirling Jr. Susanna K. White. Ashley Ann Wilcox. Callista Mary K. Wilder. Kelly Marie Wilson. Julian Nicholas Wolf. Corey Allen Woodman. Jennifer Swander. Samantha Renee Swery. Nicole Marie Trisco. Andrew Thomas Trombley. Alexander Nicholas Van Zulen. Shanna Nicole Vinsky. Chantel Renee Vensky. Jessica Bailey Vetter. Angel Victoria Shook. Barbara Ellie Sisler. Adam Michael Smith. Celeste Mildred Sprague. Jessica Lynn Stovall. Callie McKell Stuckey. Adam Wilson Stuckey. Paul Cameron Sullivan. Natasha Nicole Ringler. Seth Christian Robertson. Cody Daniel Rogers. Aubrey Lynn Russell. Hawken Michael Sapp. Caitlin Nicole Scott. Danielle Christine Severance. Dylan Michael Shuckles. Ryan Dennis Palmerton. Robert Lee Peel Jr. Andrew Pitt. Bethany Michelle Quick. Lindsay Ann Reidenbach. Stephen Michael Restemeyer. Megan Jo Ridenauer. Lauren Nicole Ringler. Abigail Rebecca Joy McClatcher. Kendra Ann Meeks. Ashley Lynn Metroff. Chase Andrew Milholland. Zachary Thomas Mofield. Kaylani Sue Morgan. Jack Sinclair Musson III. Alan Michael Scott Ostrander. Nicole Iva Hasenzahl. Yvonne Yadira Hernandez. Kayla Michael Johnson. Philip Kane Keating. Natalie Mae Nisley. Clarissa K. Martin. Jacob Allen Martin. Jack L. McFarland. Dominic A. J. Frazier. Chelsea Lynn Gahagan. Greg Galvin. Joseph Michael Gannon. James Willard Gardner. Bradley James Garrison. Weston Robert Grout. Mason Philip Hallman. Courtney Lynn Dancer. Matthew C. Daniels. Mariah Ashley Depew. Jacob Allen Dunn. Colton Wayne Dutoit. Eric Jabba. Joshua Andrew Feller. Cody D. Field. Wesley Vance Bernal. Ariel Lynn Carpenter. Justin Richard Caskey. Taya M. Champion. Tyler Richard Colbart. Lauren Lee Coleman. Kristen Leona Collins. Eric Paul Corchamilia. Devin Alsbury. Chelsea Renee Ashbrook. Nicole Renee Ashbrook. Brittany Ann Asher. Kelsey Renee Bates. Haley Diane Belpasso. Raymond Blotter. Brittany Ann Bradley. Hannah Jo Hughes. Anthony Folk. Sarah Mae Aldrich. Renee Nicole France. Krista Michelle Short. No.
Kayla Corchamilia. Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2010.
It is my privilege to certify the accomplishments of the class of 2010. With the 2010 President, Anthony Folk, we are going to change the tassels. By this power vested in me by the Board of Education of Fremont Community Schools, I hereby declare you as graduates of Fremont High School. Congratulations.
Please be seated. Once upon a time, in a little place called Fremont, 100 children woke up early, gave their parents a kiss, smiled for a picture, and headed off to their first day of kindergarten. Walking into the elementary in those solitary single-file lines made us all feel like true lone wolves. But after a few days, I thought, could there be 100 more to join my wolf pack? There certainly were. We were no longer alone, but a wolf pack of 101 wolves. From that young age, we were labeled the worst class ever to enter Fremont. But our appearance here today shows that labels aren't everything. Our wolf pack has stayed strong through excitement and disappointment. Our coastside trip was the best day of our 7th grade lives. Oh wait, we missed that one. But the class of 2009 told us all about it. They had a blast. But how about their trip to New York? Oh yeah, that one got canceled too. At least the pictures were entertaining. But you know what? None of those missed field trips matter now, because in a few minutes we're going to run through the halls of our high school and scream at the top of our lungs.
Reality is finally sinking in, and we're all ready to get out of here and ring the bell. But for these last few seconds, let's envision our futures. When we leave here, we're all headed in our own directions. But wherever the yellow brick road takes us, I have confidence that we will succeed. We've made it through thick and thin, and will continue to be the strong, independent, spunky, and best class that ever went through Fremont. Class of 2010, although you have me at hello, it is time to say goodbye. My best wishes, congratulations. Thank you.
I would like to recognize our faculty and staff and all the teachers, kindergarten through 12th grade, that are here today. Please stand at this time. I would ask the audience to remain seated until the graduates, faculty, administration, and school board have left the gymnasium.
Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train going anywhere. Just a city boy, born and raised in South Detroit. He took the midnight train going anywhere. A singer in a smoky room, the smell of wine and cheap perfume. For a smile they can share the night. It goes on and on and on and on. Strangers waiting, up and down the boulevard. Their shadows searching in the night. Streetlights, people It's clearing the sea out. See the bedroom fires at night. See the oil fields at first light. And see the bird with a leaf in her mouth. After the flood, all the colors came out. It was a beautiful day. Don't let it get away. Beautiful day.
can't sleep.